Hello and welcome. No, okay, recording in progress. Hello and welcome back to session 7.0 PR Festival. Then the person we're talking about is Toastmaster Bhavani Parasami session on LinkedIn. Before we move further, that's another thing. We take another picture, a beautiful picture for this event, and for that, please turn on your video and wear your smiles again with the brightest pose. We'll capture some of the moment. SAA, please kindly assist us with this. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Please switch on your video, everyone, and pose for your camera lens on, wait, let me turn on. On my count, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Next page. On my count, 3, 2, 1. Next one. On my count, 3, 2, 1. Another one. On my count, 3, 2, 1. Okay, last page to go. On my count, 3, 2, 1. Done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, our SAA. Ladies and gentlemen, reminder again, please take notes that we will have 15 minutes question and answer session at the very end of this session. And before we invite our esteemed speaker, please note that what comes next, what comes next is copyrighted material. No recording of any kind is permitted. And of course, our question master, our Fazia Bibi, Toastmaster Fazia Bibi, will able to assist you in back. Let me introduce our next speaker, Toastmaster Bhavani Parasami. She is the queen of LinkedIn and the immediate past president of Malaysia Association of Professional Speakers. She's been active and built a brand on LinkedIn since the last 7 years. And over the past 7 years, Bhavani have educated students and entrepreneurs on the benefits of LinkedIn and has been recognized as one of the LinkedIn 21 Inspired Indian Icon in 2019 and 100 most inspirational LinkedIn icon in Malaysia. Today, she was sharing about how Toastmaster can fully utilize LinkedIn to create visibility and engagement for themselves and their club. It's none other than that Toastmaster Parasami. I would like to welcome our speaker, Toastmaster Bhavani Parasami. The virtual stage is yours.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Saiful. A very good day to everyone. Good afternoon to those in Malaysia. A very warm welcome. Thank you for being here. So now, before I start, I just would like to ask a few questions. And here's my first question. I hope and I really hope that everyone is actually familiar with what LinkedIn is. And if at all there is someone here who does not know what LinkedIn is or does not have an account, could you just put it onto the chat so that I know how much of a beginner level I should engage with, or should I just jump straight into it? And thank you, Toastmaster. I've already asked to share a guideline. So keep this guideline for your own reference after the session. During the session, just focus on my sharing because you will have the guide to help you later on. So can I just see a show of hands if anyone does not have a LinkedIn account? Okay, so I believe there are people who does not have a LinkedIn account. Okay, thank you very much for that. I do see personal messages coming as well. All right, thank you, thank you. So before I start, I just would like to mention this or emphasize why LinkedIn. If you are not aware, LinkedIn is fondly known as the professional social network. So we have Facebook, we have Instagram, Twitter. They're all known as the social network. And LinkedIn is also a social network, but a little bit more focused on a professional side. And a lot of my participants always fear LinkedIn. Do not fear LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is very harmless, and it's not only just for job recruitment or for looking for jobs. That's not what LinkedIn is all about. It's very holistic. And before I proceed, I just want to thank District for doing this, because from the beginning, I have been jumping into the sessions and I find that it's very holistically planned. So every single information that you have been learning from yesterday morning is a build-up for a bigger holistic usage on digital marketing. So you've learned about Canva, how to use PowerPoint. Everything that you learn will actually be used either on Facebook, on your website, or on LinkedIn. So take note, go back and refresh your mind with whatever that you have learned, because this is where you're going to apply. Any knowledge learned and not applied is as good as not learning it. So 3 things that I want to talk about on why LinkedIn. Many are not actually familiar that LinkedIn is built in such a way that the algorithm of LinkedIn is very, very friendly on a search engine. If you have the time, just grab your phone right now and do this. Open a web browser and type your name, your full name, and see what comes out. And if you're someone who is actually on LinkedIn or active on LinkedIn, you will notice that LinkedIn will be the first search that comes out when you type in your name. So LinkedIn is actually very, very powerful when it comes to using keywords, hashtags, and the algorithm itself. So LinkedIn can be very powerful if you use it right, use it consistently, and you know what to do on LinkedIn. So the first thing to remember is LinkedIn has got a very powerful algorithm when it comes to search engine. Just remember this, because I will tell you how later. Now, the second point, we have heard, I believe, from Toastmaster John yesterday. He spoke a lot about branding, and the same goes on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a powerful tool for you to brand, position, and do publicity. That is for yourself or for your own club. So remember this. Use Stride. LinkedIn is a very, very powerful tool. Now, point number 3. Point number 3 is that you need to ask yourself, what is your intention? See, we all are on social media for different reasons, for different purposes. And every social media site actually gives us a different way of communicating or interacting with people. If you are on Instagram, you don't write a lot. You take photos, especially selfies, a lot of stuff that you want to show. So Instagram is basically a lot on images and photos of what you want to show to people. Facebook could be a mixture. It could be both a combination of text and the photos. When it comes to LinkedIn, the question to ask is, what is my intention? Why am I here? So I'm trying to be a bit more holistic to cover for the benefit of the Toastmasters, non-Toastmasters. The question to ask is, why am I here? Are you here for your personal self? Here as in on LinkedIn. Are you here for your personal self? Do you want to look for a job? Do you want to brand yourself so that you are known in the industry? Do you want to brand yourself as an expert? So you need to know your own personal intention. Why are you on LinkedIn? Because that sets the tone and the behavior of how you operate on LinkedIn. So for me personally, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach. And for the last 7 years, 6 to 7 years, I have only been using LinkedIn as my marketing tool to brand myself, to position myself. This is so that I can get paid engagements, paid clients. So that is my intention. Everything that I do on LinkedIn has a purpose. And my purpose is to show people my expertise, to show my brand, and why am I the one that they should hire. So I'm very purposeful when I am interacting on LinkedIn. So the question to ask is, why are you on LinkedIn? Are you there as a Toastmaster? Are you representing your club, your area, your district? And the question to ask is, always ask this question. When I'm on LinkedIn, what is it that I want people to see and feel? So here comes, I know we are doing a lot on marketing and digital marketing right now, but the question to ask is, Do you want people to have the sense that you are someone who is always selling? That they just scroll past? I think I just heard Robert saying that earlier. Is someone just going to scroll past your post when they're on LinkedIn, or are they going to stop and check out what you are saying? So this is where I'll touch on this later on the content part. So your intention is very, very important. As much as all of us want to sell, we have a purpose. And that goes for me as well. I am selling my services, which is speaking and coaching. But if every time I'm going to talk about come and join my next session, trust me, I will have more people not liking me than me being likable. So I need to be very careful on what content I'm sharing on LinkedIn. So the third question, your intention. What is your intention when you are on LinkedIn? So we all have different purposes when you're on social network, social media. Most important question you need to know is, what branding am I positioning myself, and what's my intention being on LinkedIn? So I'm just going to jump quickly onto LinkedIn on its own. So this is where the guide would probably be very helpful. Grab hold of the guide that I have shared. I'm going to speak about something that is very, very fundamentally important when it comes to LinkedIn. Your LinkedIn profile, I'm going to share two parts of LinkedIn. One is your own personal profile of LinkedIn. And the second part, I'm going to cover a bit on company positioning, which could be where your Toastmasters club will be. And for those who are not Toastmasters, it could be relevant for your own business. So I'm going to be sharing two parts to this session. So first part, your own profile. There is something called All-Star on LinkedIn. Can I just see a show of hands? Just put yes on the chat if anyone is familiar with what is All-Star and if you already have All-Star. Very quickly, just put yes if you have All-Star. Anyone? No, yes. I see Sean says yes. Okay, all right. Okay, thank you for that. So allow me to just go into my own profile to show LinkedIn on how it's supposed to look. So when you go into your profile, and I'm assuming that you can see my slides right now, when you go into your profile, you will have something called your dashboard. Your dashboard is your personal view, and no one else can see this unless otherwise they have access to your account. So this is not something that others can see. It's only something that you can see from your own profile when you go into view your own profile. So if you see, I have, there's something here called All-Star with a star icon over there. So this is what All-Star means. What does All-Star mean? Remember I said earlier when I started that LinkedIn is very algorithm driven. So when you have All-Star on your profile, that means LinkedIn sort of categorizes you as a valid and a complete profile, someone with a complete profile. And in LinkedIn's term, it means the profile is optimized for success. So that's very crucial. You must, and I repeat this, you must have All-Star if you want to have higher viewership and for you to have higher engagement. It's one of the crucial points. You may disagree with me and say that I don't need to be up there or have higher viewership, but then this again goes back to your intention. Why do you want to be on LinkedIn? To me, it's very, very crucial because each of my posts is valuable and I want to have the highest viewership possible. So please ensure that you have All-Star. And how do you get All-Star? Just refer to the guide that I have given. There's, I believe, 15 or 16 things that you must make sure is updated on your profile. Your profile is like your one-stop center on LinkedIn. The better updated your profile is, the more LinkedIn loves you. Let's put it that way. So always make sure. So if you go and see, you need to have your featured, your about, your experience, your education, your certificates, your skills, recommendation, everything. It's all there in the guide. Just make it your checklist and get that done. And the other part of this is this part where please make sure that your profile is customized to your name or whichever name that you want. My strong recommendation is that you customize it to your name, because I'm sure you have heard this before. It's all about optimization and keywords. When people look for you, people look for your full name. So please ensure those things are done. Now, having a good profile, a good updated profile is not all. It also now goes back to the types of content. How do you engage? And here is something that I would suggest. I know Toastmaster Saiful mentioned you're not allowed to record and all that, but please feel free to just take a photo, grab a photo of this. Here's what I strongly recommend. Always make sure you diversify your contents of sharing with different types of sharing. It could be stories, it could be tips, it could be videos, articles, review, polls. Do different things, because if you're going to maintain the same thing, right, you're going to be boring. And if it's every time, and this is my personal view, only my personal view, you can agree or you can disagree with me. Imagine if you are the one scrolling on LinkedIn and every time you open LinkedIn, you only see someone invite you for an event. How would you feel? The next time you see the name, you're just going to scroll past because it's all about the next event. But what happens if they have a valuable information or content that they learn from you? So content creation, let me just be very specific when it comes to LinkedIn based on my analysis in the last 6-7 years. As much as it's called a professional social network, right? Let me tell you this. Everyone who's on LinkedIn are all humans. And guess what? Humans connect emotionally. They can be CEO, they can be board of directors, they can be executives, they can be head of departments, but they all have one in common. They all connect with emotion. Why do I say that? Stories are so important. Stories are a beautiful way to connect with people. Let me give you an example. Imagine if you are only sharing 3 reasons why you should attend Toastmasters tonight, or 3 reasons why you should, 5 reasons why you should join Toastmasters. And if you're afraid of public speaking, come and join Toastmasters. These are things we know, right? These are things that we are very familiar with. But imagine, I have a friend from my very own Toastmasters clubs, Fusion Inspired, and he has given me permission to share this. Scott is someone who used to stutter. He used to stutter. And if you ask the community or the people outside there, there will be other people who have the same problem. So imagine if Scott shares this. I used to stutter. I hate to speak because when I speak, people laugh at me. But today I can speak. Do you know how I started speaking? Because I joined this community where they empowered me, they helped me, they trained me, they gave me support. And every single step, even though it was so painful, today I'm able to speak because Toastmasters did that for me. This is the family that helped me do it. Tell me, will that actually get someone to take a second look, take a second pause, and actually feel that maybe there's something here that I can learn? Because I am very sure there are a lot of people out there, or you may know of someone who actually stutters and has a lot of low self-esteem, challenges because the community probably laughs or doesn't encourage them very well, or even does not know how to guide them. So imagine just sharing your stories could help. Or if someone comes and write a story about, I was very devastated. I went through a bad experience, but someone took the time to speak to me, listen to me. And that person showed me how I could be more confident with myself. And that is something I found on Toastmasters. This is the community that brought me back. I'm confident now because this community, this tribe, the one that I call my family, gave me hope and made me who I am today. Can you imagine how much of credibility that you built for your club, yourself, and the community itself? Wouldn't anyone who reads that want to know what happened in Toastmasters or in the club, that you are so drawn to them that you are just cheering and beating the drum all about how you became who you are simply because it's Toastmasters? Or do a video, share with them, because video actually brings out your emotions, your facial expressions. People can actually see your story, hear your story. That's how powerful content is on LinkedIn, and people actually read this. So always remember this. You may not have the likes and the comments, but there are a lot of silent viewers on LinkedIn. So that's why diversifying your content is so, so important. So I'm just going to touch a little bit on a company club, company page as well. Diversify your content. It's not always all about what's coming next. What's coming next could be one of the posts, and then put one of your members share. What did they learn? I always have butterflies in my stomach. Anyone else has faced that? Even before this, I was having a little nervousness in me. Why, you may ask? Because it's not very often that I get to speak in such a large crowd, for Toastmasters especially. So what did I do? I bugged my friend, which is our district director. I started messaging him. Do I have butterflies in my stomach? I do. But I can share what helps me. It's the people in Toastmasters. So can you imagine if the company, why I'm saying company, because LinkedIn recognizes it as a personal page or a company page. Can you imagine if the club actually uses the company page and starts featuring members? What was their success factor? What was their personal tips? Because people can relate to it. Let me tell you this, you can always open Google and you can Google the top 5 public speaking tips, how to lose your nervousness, how to be confident. But the same message shared by a member, what worked for them, definitely will make an impact on people. Because you know why? We're all normal people. We all relate to one another. And you will always have this feeling, okay, I'm not the only one. Someone else also feels this way. So start sharing content that hooks people emotionally. So always look at it from a reader's perspective. What would make someone stop scrolling and check it out? Ask yourself this question and try. Over the last few years, how I figured LinkedIn out is just by trying lots and lots of different types of posting. There are postings that I only get like less than 100 engagements, but there are posts that takes me to thousands of engagement. Why? Because of diversification of content. So you need to try different things. And on the days you have low engagement, it's okay. It's okay, because when someone checks you out or checks your profile or your club's profile out, those things are there. And remember what I said earlier again, LinkedIn really loves how you engage with algorithm. The more engaging you are with your posting and content, the more LinkedIn loves you. And the more LinkedIn would want to keep you high in their viewership. So that's why engaging on LinkedIn is so crucial. And here's another tip. When you put a post, please make sure you find the time to reply to people's comment if there are. Because a post that does not have the author of the post replying to the comment, it really doesn't give a good taste. It leaves a bad taste in the mouth. So always find the time to make sure you reply to comments that people have put on your post. Whether it's your personal post or whether it's a club's post. It's so crucial that you engage. And these are all the things that will help you to build your profile. It's so crucial. So now I just want to quickly jump into the company profile itself, because I know this is what the clubs need to know. So for clubs, again, same thing. You need to make sure that your profile is updated. When I say your profile, I'm talking about the club's profile. And for the non-Toastmasters, this could apply to your business. So your logo, your location, and please make sure all the images that you use are high resolution. That's very crucial. So your logo, your location, company size and type, industry, your website URL, your company description. Company here means club as well. These are all there. So I also noticed that Robert mentioned this earlier. Not everyone may have their own website. So this is where your exco needs to sit down and discuss. Are you going to leave website empty, or your area or your division may have a website? Do you want to link it to that website? So exco needs to decide it as a team. How would you want to fill this information out? because having all this information on your profile is very, very crucial in making sure it's visible and it's likable. So I just want to quickly speak about two things that's important. Hashtags. Hashtags is a very crucial component on LinkedIn. Why do I say this? Because LinkedIn has something called trending hashtags. So Toastmasters is definitely a trending hashtag. So as a team, again, you need to decide what are the crucial hashtags that you must always use. So it could be District 102 for those of you who are in this district. It could be a different district number. It could be your own club name. How are you going to use your club name? Is it going to be spelled in full? Is it going to be the abbreviation? So as a club, you need to decide this, because you know why? This is where during events, you can tell your members, hey guys, go onto your LinkedIn, go onto your Facebook, use these hashtags, tag us. So there must be a consistency in using hashtags. And for that to happen, the team needs to decide what are some of the crucial hashtags that you all want to adopt for your community. Because this is what helps to build LinkedIn again, your LinkedIn. So for me, I'm going to use myself an example because this is what I use. So I use gratitude advocate, I use gratitude speaker, and I use gratitude. These are my three main must-have hashtags that I use because that's the subject that I'm an expert in. And that's what I am known as. So these are my three most main must-have and important hashtags that I use. And the other hashtags that I use will be probably happiness, perhaps leadership, perhaps speaking, based on the post that I write. So if it's about a gratitude and being happy, I may add happiness as a hashtag. If I'm talking about Toastmasters or about my speaking association, then it could be about speakers or international speakers, global speakers. So I have a must-have hashtags, and I also have a selective few of hashtags that I pick from, and I use that according to my post. So hashtag is something very, very important and crucial on LinkedIn. So as a team, please make sure you take time to discuss this and be consistent in using them. And here's the other thing that I would like to invite everyone to do. Remember I said that people connect emotionally. So encourage your members to actually post on their own profiles and tag your club, because this helps. And the same goes, the club posts general things, which is like your announcement, your events, it could be your competition, contest, all those things, installation. But at the same time, you can plan your calendar in such a way that you take time to feature your own members. So it's a win-win where you build your brand for your club and you help to build your own members. So feature them, feature their stories. What was their takeaway? What was something that they did awesomely that you want to recognize them for, if they won something or if they've had some sort of an achievement? So LinkedIn is very much about helping one another in that sense, where when you build credibility for others, in a lot of ways, you build trust and credibility for yourself. So that's why that hand-in-hand working between personal profile and a club profile really, really means a lot. So when you tag someone, don't tag like 20 people at the same time. Tag people who are very appropriate for that post and tell them, hey, I've tagged you, check it out. Because a lot of people may not be active on LinkedIn and they may not have known that they have been tagged. So just pass a note and say, hey, we featured you on LinkedIn, we have tagged you. If you're free, please just go and take a look at it. So again, and I cannot emphasize this enough, when it comes to LinkedIn, it's all about algorithm, and it's about you being smart and capitalizing this. Fully capitalize it. And the best way to do that is having your profile updated. Make sure you engage and connect with people. And last but not least, make sure you make good use of the hashtags. Hashtags are super crucial when it comes to LinkedIn engagement. So if you look at the guide, the first page is all about how to make sure you have your all-star. And the next 2 pages is just a reminder for you what you must be doing. And the last page, if you notice, I have put in a link there on something called SSI. What is SSI? SSI is something like your LinkedIn report card, or call it your LinkedIn progress chart. So if you're logged onto your browser, onto LinkedIn, click on this link that I have given you. I think it's linkedin.com/in/SSI or something like that. But when you click on that, it will actually give you your percentage, how active you are, how are you building your network, how are you engaging with your insights. So you can actually use that to know how you are doing or how are you progressing on LinkedIn. And you can use that as your yardstick. What else must I be doing that I'm not doing? So SSI is a fantastic tool to use to measure your own progress and to also chart, where do I want to go? How many percent must I have? What must I be doing that I'm not doing? So use SSI as well as your guide so that it really helps you. And if you use LinkedIn well, you will really find a lot of benefits coming from it. But bear in mind, on LinkedIn or even in any other social media, sometimes it's about delayed gratification. The work that you do today, you may only see the results in weeks or months to time. And sometimes the work that you do today, you may see immediate results. But the most important thing to remember is this. It's all about consistency. It's all about being present. And it's all about creating value, because everything that you share should be of value to a member. It's not what we think is valuable. But when you share value, people trust you, people will like you will create a likable profile for yourself. So bear this in mind when you're on LinkedIn. And I am very, very sure if you do something always, it definitely will bring you results. And I hope the guide is good enough for you to kickstart. If you have not, feel free to reach out to me if you need any external help after this. I will see what I can do to help. And I'm not sure with timing, but I think I should be very close to finishing up right now. So I will pass this back officially to Toastmaster of the Day, Saiful, first.
Thank you.
Toastmaster Saiful,
Thank
back
you.
to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hashtag thank you. Hashtag Toastmaster. Hashtag awesome Bhavani for the mind-blowing presentation on LinkedIn. You have taught me a lot of things that I will apply in my business. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me pass the control to the Queen Master again. Queen Master, Question Master again. Toastmaster Fauzia Bibi to assist on question and answer session. Over to you, Toastmaster Fauzia.
Good day. Thank you, Toastmaster Saiful. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Bhavani, for the enlightenment on these specific LinkedIn secrets as well as the do's on the LinkedIn. Toastmaster Bhavani, I totally agree that all of us should share valuable information to be connected in the LinkedIn. Let me move on to the question that we have today. You are ready?
Yes, sure.
Okay. The first question is pretty simple. How to get all stars?
Okay, I think I've shared that earlier, but the first thing to do is to make sure your profile is fully updated. The guide will actually help you with that. If you make sure you have all of that done, it definitely will give you the all-star. The moment you have done, LinkedIn is very intuitive. The moment you start updating your profile, it will tell you what else is left, not done for you to get all-star. So just start updating your profile first. That itself will help you.
I understand. I hope the person who asked the question have got the answer. Please share 3 tips to effectively manage LinkedIn account.
When you say manage, as in the timing or the content, can I just know what do you mean by manage?
Well,
Understanding
the
I have
person who
any.
asked the question didn't specifically indicate or the question. You may want to share in your perspective if you don't mind.
Okay. For me, I make sure I have time every day, pockets of time during the day that I will check LinkedIn. For me personally, LinkedIn is my most active social media that I use as compared to Instagram or Facebook. So I find pockets of time to do engage with people's posts. And if can, I do 3 posts a week because that's what I can manage with my own timing. So it's maybe helpful to have your own calendar, a calendar that's wholesome on your digital marketing planning, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, Toastmasters. And if it's Toastmasters, maybe you can take turns within the club members could you post today or what? So I think it's all about coming up with strategy on how to execute this. And do bear in mind, content can be shared across platforms. So it could be things that you use on Facebook, just tweak it a little bit and reshare it on LinkedIn. So I believe the best way to manage is always to have a strategy. And if it's for your, if it's for your personal, you find pockets of time to manage this. But if it's for your club, come up with a strategy. Speak to your exco and see who can help. Reach out to your members and say, hey, is there something that you want to share? So get all this strategically planned in advance and then execute it. I think for me, that's the best that I can say. This is what works when you plan ahead and you can actually diversify your content. That's the best way to manage.
Well said.
I've answered
Thank
the
you.
question.
Yeah, that was actually in a broader perspective and general. Okay, let's move on to the next question. What is the cheapest and easiest way to increase the number of in-mail credits for content distribution?
In-mail credits.
Yeah, in-mail credits.
I will admit I can't. I don't understand this question. What do you mean by in-mail credit? Because I believe this person is referring to a paid or the premium account of LinkedIn.
Yeah,
if I could have a more specific question, then I would be able to answer. Bear in mind that I'm talking about not the paid account right now. I am speaking from the angle of the LinkedIn that you and I see, which is not the premium account. So if I could have that person to just be a bit more specific, then probably I could help.
Okay, I'll open up to the Zoom audience who have asked this question. Would you be able to unmute and ask this question? Oh, looks like we don't have that person in the session here. Shall we move on to the final question? Are there any secondary content distribution features of LinkedIn that we should make good use of?
Okay, I'm trying to understand what does secondary mean here. Could I just have that person be a bit more in detail with what the secondary mean here?
Okay, let's open up to the Zoom audience. Come on.
Okay, but this question is from me.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Thank you. Please mention your name.
I'm Max. Hello.
Okay.
Hi.
Okay, when it comes to the profile, there are many sections. So some section about hobbies, maybe your professional certificates or expertise. Should we focus or prioritize some over others? And what are those that they are secondary one, less important one that we actually should think of?
So Matt, you're talking about your personal profile, is it?
Yes.
Okay. My answer to that is that everything is equally important because that's like your one-stop center information about you. So it's like if I'm reading that midnight, right, I get to know everything about you without having to call and ask you anything. So if you read my about has everything. Why am I doing what I'm doing? Some of my achievement, everything is in my about. Why I put it there is because I'm in the business of speaking and coaching. I can't afford to let clients guessing, oh, why is she doing this? Has she been doing this speaking engagement before? So I want to be there, give all this information upfront so that everyone knows what I want everyone to know. So I would say the about is definitely most important, but for LinkedIn on its own, in terms of algorithm, having everything filled up will help you get the all-star faster.
See, it's a long list actually, long list of things.
Yes, it's definitely a work in progress. I cannot say that you just take 2 hours or 3 hours to finish it, but take time to do it. Every day do something and update something. It will definitely help.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, another question here, quite interesting. Is the company of LinkedIn providing any programs about content distribution dedicated to Malaysian that I can take part in? If you know, Bhavani, please share with us.
I don't know whether they have done that, but what I have checked in the past, I don't think that is specific to Malaysia. But there's something called LinkedIn has its own like an education learning portal, but it may not cover everything on LinkedIn itself, and especially very specific to Malaysia.
Right.
So I can definitely check this out, and the person who asked this question, please just touch base with me again later on LinkedIn and see if I can help you answer that.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavani, for answering all exciting questions from our audience. And I will allow you to do a short closing speech, if you don't mind.
Sure. For closing, I just want to say this. We are living in a digital world right now. We can't run away from the fact that we need, and I have to emphasize the saying that we need to have a digital footprint. Again, people come and debate with me on this, but here's my outlook and view of it. Everything now is you need to find out, you just Google. Everything is all about finding solutions on Google. Food comes to our doorstep. Delivery comes to our doorstep. And the same thing happens with services and products. Everything is being Googled. So, and here's the thing, some people tell me that, I'm low profile, I don't want to be out there. You can always have a very clear cut between your parts of your life. I don't share things that is all about my family and all that. Occasionally I do when I want to express gratitude to my parents, my sister or whatever, but I don't show everything that I do. So again, this is your intention. What do you show? What you don't show? So there's a lot of things that you can share in terms of your expertise, the industry you work with, what are you doing, activities. So that's not about your personal life. You can always choose to keep personal things personal. But having said that, digital footprint is very crucial. You can't run away from the fact that we are in a digital world, and you not existing will create a curiosity like, why can't I find any information about this person? So, and I have this habit, and you may want to adopt this. Every 2 or 3 weeks once, I'll just Google my name just to see what Google produces about my name. In case someone talks bad about me, at least I could take action on it. But
that's really interesting, Bhavani. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah. So make use of a digital world in the best way possible,
right,
while at the same time taking into consideration about cyber attacks, cyber security matters and all that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Bhavani. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a round of applause for her wonderful sharing, and I would say a lot of secret and takeaway that we had today. I would like to apologize for not able to read all questions which was posted due to the time limit that we have. That is all from me today. I will pass the session to Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Saiful. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Fauzia Bibi. Hashtag Fauzia Bibi. Awesome. For helping us for pass some of the burning questions to our esteemed speaker. And of course, thank you again, Toastmaster Bhavani. Thank you for everybody who are submitting to your question. And yes, this is the end of our session 7.2. Ladies and gentlemen, Toastmaster Bhavani have shared indeed a precious information on LinkedIn. And before that, distinguished Toastmaster Robert Ram already done the same thing. And we learned so much today. And please, Toastmaster Bhavani, is this possible for you? Can you share with us your linking link in the chat box, and maybe your handphone number or WhatsApp number for people to contact you personally to know more about LinkedIn. Now, let me close the session for today, and I would like to hand over the virtual stage back to OC, Organizing Chair, Toastmaster Maha. To you.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. Ladies and gentlemen, now our Zoom master will display a QR code link on the screen and post it in the chat box. This is for you to feedback on the session. Please provide us your feedback so that PR team can enhance the event in the future based on your preference. Now, it's a time for the presentation appreciations to the speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to welcome following District Leader, District Director, DTM, Distinguished Toastmaster Srinivas, District Administrations Manager, Effective Coaching Level 5, Fatima, District Public Relationship Manager, Presentational Mastery, Level 5, Reshmi, Immediate Post District Director, Distinguished Toastmaster, Lee Menzel, Event Organizing Chair, Innovative Planning Level 4, Timothy Tan. We are going to present a certificates of appreciation to Toastmaster Bhavani Parasami on her wonderful speech for today. SAA, please help us to take a beautiful picture.
On my count, 3, 2, 1. One more, please. On my count, 3, 2, 1. Done. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoom Master and
Thank
SAA.
you, Bhavani. Thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks,
Thank you so much,
Bhavani.
Rashmi.
Thank you.
We would like to
Wonderful
again
savings.
congrats our speaker, Toastmaster Bhavani, for her marvelous session. For these sessions, let me take this opportunity to thanks and welcome all the role players. So Master, myself and Timothy will be in the screen. And the trainer, Distinguished Toastmaster Robert Ram and Bhavani, Toastmaster Bhavani. Okay, I will start with Toastmaster of the Day, Dynamic Leaderships Level 5, Presentational Mastery Level 5, Motivational Strategy Level 5, and currently he is doing Engaging Humor Level 1, Saiful Ikram Slamat. Zoom Master, Visionary Communication Level 5, Engaging Humor Level 3, Vincent. Our Question Master, Presentational Mastery Level 2, Fauzia Bibi. Timer, Presentational Mastery Level 3, Alif. And finally, Sergeant at Arms, Strategy Relationship Level 1, Max Ong. It is my pleasure to welcome Event Organizing Chair, Innovative Planning Level 4, Timothy Tan, to take photos with the role players as well the trainers. SAA, please help us to take a beautiful picture.
Okay, on my count, 3, 2, 1. Okay, done.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hand together for all the role players for today. Without them, I have no confidence to be a sub-organizing for these sessions. As a last but not least, on behalf of my team, I would like to express my gratitude to the Toastmaster Timothy Tan and District 102 PR team for giving us this opportunity to learn together. It is now my pleasure to hand over to the Event Organizing Chair, Innovative Planning Level 4, Timothy Tan.
Thank you, Session Organizing Chair, Maha. And now, thanks for your hard work and all the role players. I would like to hand over the certificate of appreciation to you. Can we have Maha on the screen? And the certificate as well. Congratulations, you and your team have did a very good job.
On my count. Sorry, one more, please. Okay, on my count, 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And special thanks to both of our speakers, Distinguished Toastmaster Robert Ram and Toastmaster Bhavani. So we are having a short break now, and we will come back. We will come back at 1. Sorry. We will have a 5-minute break, and we will come back at 3:55. So we have a 5-minute break, and we'll come back at 3:55. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavani. Thank you, Robert Ram, for a very good presentation. Thank you.